Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day-per-week wisdom and legacy building podcast. This is day 855 of our trek, and it's time for a 3-minute mini trek called Wisdom Unplugged. But due to a heavy travel schedule this week, I will be switching from our regular daily topics, and instead, I'll be reading through the parables of Jesus. Jesus' parables are seemingly simple and memorable stories, often with imagery, and all cover messages. Scholars have commented that although these parables seem simple, the messages they convey are deep and central to the teachings of Jesus. Christian authors view them not as mere similitudes which serve the purpose of an illustration, but as internal analogies in which nature becomes the witness to a spiritual world. Many of Jesus' parables refer to simple, everyday things, such as a woman baking bread, a man knocking on the neighbor's door at night, or the aftermath of a roadside mugging. Yet they deal with major religious themes such as growth of the kingdom of God, the importance of prayer, and the meaning of love. In Western civilizations, these parables form the prototype of the term parable. And in the modern age, even those who know little about the Bible, the parables of Jesus remain some of the best-known stories in the world. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. Our parables today are taken from Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 30, and it is about 3 servants. And here we go. Again, the kingdom of heaven can be illustrated by the story of a man going on a long trip. He called together his servants and entrusted his money to them while he was gone. He gave 5 bags of silver to one, 2 bags of silver to another, and 1 bag of silver to the last, dividing it in proportion to their abilities. He then left on his trip. The servant who had received 5 bags of silver began to invest the money and earned 5 more. The servant who had 2 bags of silver also went to work and earned 2 more. But the servant who had received 1 bag of silver dug a hole into the ground and hid the master's money. After a long time, their master returned from his trip and called them to give an account on how they used his money. The servant to whom he had entrusted 5 bags of silver came forward with 5 more and said, "Master, you gave me 5 bags of silver to invest. I have earned 5 more." The master was full of praise. "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." The servant who had received 2 bags of silver came forward and said, "Master, you gave me 2 bags of silver to invest. I have earned 2 more." The master said, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have been faithful in handling this small amount, so now I will give you many more responsibilities. Let's celebrate together." The servant with the 1 bag of silver came and said, "Master, I knew you were a harsh man, harvesting crops you didn't plant and gathering crops you did not cultivate. I was afraid I would lose your money, so I hid it in the earth. Look, here's your money back." But the master replied, "You wicked and lazy servant. If you knew I harvested crops I did not plant and gathered crops I did not cultivate, why didn't you deposit the money in the bank? At least I could have gotten some interest on it." Then he ordered, "Take the money from this servant and give it to the one who has 10 bags of silver. To those who use well what is given to them, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. Now throw this useless servant out into the darkness, where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth." That concludes our parable for today. On tomorrow's trek, we will continue with the parables of Jesus. Thank you for coming along with me on this trek that we call life. Encourage your friends and family to join us, and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past 854 daily treks or read the wisdom journals, they are all available at wisdom-trek.com. And I encourage you to subscribe to Apple Podcasts or Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday.